Hello and welcome all. We are now discussing about the Euglena, structure of the Euglena or morphology of the Euglena. So this Euglena is one of the protozoan organism, and it is a small microscopic organism measuring about 60 micron in length. The body of this organism is elongated and spindle shaped. The anterior end is rounded or blunt. The middle part of this body of this organism is somewhat wider, and again the posterior end is pointed. So the body of this organism becomes spindle shaped. Again, the body of this organism, the body of Euglena is enveloped by a thin elastic tough covering or envelope that is called as pellicle. The body is covered by the outermost envelope that is called as a pellicle, which is thin, elastic and tough, and it is made by protein. This pellicle is made by the protein. Under electron microscope, we can found that this pellicle consists of thin, firm and elastic strips. Under electron microscope, we can found that this pellicle is covered by some thin, firm and elastic helical disposed strips, and that strips are called as myonemes. These myonemes, the edge of the adjacent strips or myonemes are overlap and articulating along their entire length. So these strips are found all over the body of this Euglena. So the outermost covering is the pellicle, and there is some strips on the body, and that strips are called as myonemes. Then when we see the cytoplasm, this cytoplasm is clear-cut, divisible into two parts. The pellicle includes the cytoplasm, which is divisible into two zones. The outer zone, which is a clear and narrow peripheral zone, outer clear narrow peripheral zone containing microtubules and muciferous bodies, are called as ectoplasm. Ectoplasm is the outer layer, outer peripheral zone of the cytoplasm is called exoplasm, and they can contain microtubules and muciferous bodies. And the inner zone or the central zone, which is called as endoplasm. This central zone, which is called as endoplasm, it is a more fluid-like and granular zone. Central zone of the cytoplasm is called as endoplasm. It contains the nucleus, and several other cell organelles are found in this endoplasm. Then when we see towards the anterior side, there is a cup-shaped depression. So at the blunt anterior end of the body, there is an invagination or a depression forming a flask-like structure, and it is called as a reservoir. It is called as the reservoir, or also called as flagellar sac. This flagellar sac, which is found towards the anterior blunt side, there is a reservoir of flagellar sac. This flagellar sac having some structures like cytopharynx. That is the flagellar sac which leads into a short tubular canal, and that short tubular canal is called as a cell gullet. This particular area is called as cell gullet, or also called as cytopharynx. And its external opening of this cytopharynx or the reservoir is called as cell mouth or cytostome. The opening of the cytopharynx or the reservoir is called as cytostome or cell mouth. Again, this organism having a whip-like structure, which arises from the anterior side, from the reservoir, that is, at the anterior end of the body of this organism, there is a single thread-like structure which is called as a flagellum. And this flagellum arises from the or appear from the cytostol. Under electron microscope, we can find that there is not a single flagellum, but they are having also a small flagellum. That is, under electron microscope, we can find that the flagellum is not just one, but there is having another small flagellum, and which is a smaller and remain in this cytopharynx. So flagellum is, there is having two flagellum. One is a larger flagellum, another flagellum is a shorter flagellum, and this short or small flagellum is remain in this cytopharynx or in the reservoir. The two flagella then originates this flagellum. Both the flagellums are originate from a tiny granular structure that is called as kintosomes or blepharoplasts. From the blepharoplasts, these 2 points of the blepharoplasts are the points from which these tiny granular structures from which the flagellums are arises. When we see the TS of the flagellum here, when we see the TS of the flagellum, each flagellum consists of two central fibers. Each flagellum consists of two central fibers and 9 peripheral fibers. When we see the TS, when we take the TS of this flagellum, we can find that there is having two central fibers which is found at the centers, and 9 peripheral fibers arranged in the peripheral region. The central fibers are enclosed. This central fiber are enclosed in a membranous sheath that is called as that membranous sheath is called as inner sheath. The central fibers are found or covered by a membranous sheath that is called as inner sheaths. While each central fiber is single, but the peripheral fibers are paired. Central fibers are single, but peripheral fibers are paired. That is, peripheral fibers are made by two subfibers. Peripheral fibers are made by two subfibers. So central fibers are single, but peripheral fibers are made by two subfibers. Then, from each peripheral fiber, one of the two subfibers bears a double row of short projection that is called as arms. From that peripheral fibers, one of the peripheral subfiber forming arms, forming a structure, short projection that is called as arms, and all that arms are pointing in the same direction. That is, we can find in this diagram, all the arms are pointed towards the same direction. Again, the whole flagellum is covered by outer sheath. Whole flagellum is covered by an envelope or a structure that is called as outer sheath, which is continuous with the plasma membrane. Again, in the space between the peripheral fiber and central fiber, in between the peripheral fiber and central fiber, there are having again 9 secondary fibers. 9 secondary fibers. In between the peripheral fibers and central fiber, there are having spot-like structure that is called as a secondary fiber. This is about the TS of flagellum. Again, there are having some another structures found in the body of this organism. That is one of the structure that is called as main structure that is called as nucleus. This nucleus is a single, large, spherical or oval in structure and lies near the center of the endoplasm. Lies near the center of the endoplasm, just towards, usually towards the posterior end of the body. Nucleus is the single, large, spherical or oval, lies towards the posterior end of the body. It contains large solid central body that is called as nucleolus. There is having nucleolus. So nucleus contains many nucleolus and also having some central placed structure that is called as endosome or also called as cairosome. And also this nucleoplasm contains several large number of granular thread-like structure that is called as chromosomes. Also nucleoplasm contains large number of granular thread-like chromosomes. So nucleus, nuclear envelope, this nuclear envelope having some pores, then central place the endosome, chromosomes and nucleus, all these structures are found in this related to the nucleus. Again, towards the anterior side there is having a particular vacuole. That vacuole is called as contractile vacuole. This contractile vacuole associated with the reservoir, and it includes a large central placed large vacuole, and associated with that, around that, there is having this centrally placed large vacuole, contractile vacuole, is also supported by or surrounded by several small accessory vacuoles. So there is having centrally placed large contractile vacuole, and also having several surrounded. This central vacuole is surrounded by several small accessory vacuoles, and these vacuoles play a role in the discharge of water along with some waste products. So with the help of this vacuole, the discharge or removing of water along with some waste products can be, that is metabolism, which is produced due to the metabolism, the waste product which is produced in the body can be removed with the help of this type of vacuoles, that is via the reservoir cytoplasm cytostome. The contractile vacuole can remove the waste material and water from the body. Then there is another one structure opposite to that of contractile vacuole. There is having on the opposite side of the contractile vacuole, there is having a shallow cup-shaped red pigment spot that is called as eye spot. Shallow cup-shaped red pigment spot, which is also called as eye spot or stigma. This is found opposite to the contractile vacuole near the reservoir. This stigma, the stigma and the paraflagellar bodies together form photoreceptor apparatus. Paraflagellar bodies and stigma together form photoreceptor apparatus. Again, there are some endoplasmic inclusions in the body of this Euglena. There is having another cytoplasmic structures, that is one of that is very important structure, that is called as chloroplast. And these chloroplasts are suspended in cytoplasm. They are having many chloroplasts suspended in the body of this organism of the Euglena. Suspended in cytoplasm, they are having number of green bodies, that is called as chromatophores or chloroplast, and due to which the Euglena get the green color. This chlorophyll, these green pigments or chloroplasts contains chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B along with the beta carotene. So this chloroplast having chlorophyll A, B and beta carotene. These chlorophylls are, or chromatophores are slender in structure and found scattered in the cytoplasm. Again, they are having some rounded structures scattered in the cytoplasm, that is called as paramylon bodies or paramylon. The endoplasm contains several small these red colored spots, small and oval granules, that is called as paramylon. And this paramylon consists of, which is having polysaccharide. And this paramylon is produced by photosynthesis, and it represents a reserve of food material. So this represents the reserve of food material and produced by the photosynthesis. Again, they are having some cytoplasmic structures are also found in the body of the Euglena, that is like Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria and ribosomes are also found in the body of this, in the cell or the body of the Euglena. This is all about the structure or the morphology of the Euglena. So thank you once again for watching this video, and if you like this video, share with your friends. and subscribe the channel.